Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
me, Rob, with a special guest today. He's this way, sorry.
Yeah. Share an image. We rehearse things so well, it's amazing. Yeah, but we do have a second Drew with us here today. If this show wasn't complicated enough as it is here, so I feel like I should go by Andrew today just to make it easy at this point here. But we have Drew, who is one of the admins and the creator of the New York Giants Society Facebook group, guys. If you guys haven't joined that already, we will put the link, by the way, in the private chat here. I probably should have been nice and set that up ahead of time, but I just thought of it now. I'm just going things on the fly like usual. So, but guys, great group. He's extremely involved. His group is almost like the Twitter of Facebook, if that makes sense. Like literally, like things are breaking. I swear this man is like driving to work and like popping things on. It's just crazy. So, like I said, definitely one of the better groups out there for people that are on Facebook and enjoy, chatting it up with fellow Giants fans there. Like I said, I will go ahead and pop that right now for you guys into the comments section here so you can join up there. But yeah, we got a lot of news to go over there with you guys. We have somebody a little back talking here, a little backpedaling, which is usually reserved for corners, but apparently we have a wide receiver that's also backpedaling now as well. We have Darius Slayton, who is being up for a big award. And we also have to go over, of course, the injury report, which will probably take an hour basically to go over the way things are going right now, because it almost be easier to go over who's not injured. And then we're also going to go over with you guys, of course, our picks for the week, picks for week 14, after Rob and I just absolutely championed the last week. There, week 13 was our week. Like, who said week 13 is unlucky?
Here.
You're talking about the Giants because we sucked again. But for Rob and I, whoo, guys, we had our best week ever. And Rob and I actually tied. So we can't even brag about who won this week, which is the only bad part about this. But we both crushed it. Rob got I'll give you a little heads up. Rob got every single straight up pick right last week. Every single one, 16. And I lagged behind with 15. That's not too shabby. I'll take that
with the biggest,
guys.
Damn.
Any day of the week. So let's get right into some Giants news here for you guys here. So first up, we have Malik Nabers clarifying his comments on drops. So as you can imagine, for those who missed it, he had his whole comments after the game there against the Cowboys, basically kind of a little Keyshawn Johnson moment, saying kind of like, I don't care if I drop the balls, keep throwing me the damn ball. That's basically the gist of what he said. Yeah, he kind of walked back those comments, and I have to imagine that somebody sat him down and said, dude, what are you doing, moron? Don't say that. Like, it was one of those kind of moments. And if I had to guess, based on the leadership he showed with his comments recently, it wouldn't shock me at all if it was Darius Slayton. Honestly, guys, he had some great comments we talked about on the show yesterday, backing him up, but also saying he wasn't the brightest for saying it the way he said. Here's the exact quote from Malik Nabers. He said, like I said, it's football. It's going to come with that. Everyone's going to drop the ball. I'm not saying everybody, but some people thrive on not dropping the ball. But it's the sport. It's a thing. Now, I'm going to say that real quick, guys. Does that bother you at all? Like, everybody's going to drop the ball. I'm not saying everybody because some people thrive on not dropping the ball. Like, you are a receiver. Your job is to catch the damn ball.
Yeah,
you should thrive on
not
dropping the ball. Am I crazy? Like,
no,
it's legit what he's getting paid for.
It's a poor choice of words. He's a young guy. He's energetic. He's into it. I get it, but I think these are one of those things where, like, you learn as you go, and the comeback, you can tell he's definitely somebody spoke to him. Somebody put some words of wisdom in his head, and he's walking back on the words just a little bit,
as he should.
Yeah, and the original message is like, gets overlooked. He's pretty much saying, "Give him the ball." Like he'll kind of right the ship.
Throw it the damn ball.
Say, yeah, but just throw him the ball. Like, listen, he's a playmaker.
Sequel with a forward by Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah. But yeah, they called him after the game to get in the press. It wasn't like he practiced his speech. He just kind of flew off the top of his head. And listen, we're not paying him to give the best speech. Not Abraham Lincoln over here giving out some of the best presidential speeches. We're paying this guy to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm okay if he's a bonehead when he talks.
Well, we got to remember too. We just turned 21 right before the season started as well, guys. Like it's not like this is like a guy who's even in his mid-20s. I don't know about y'all, but I said some really stupid stuff at 21. I'm still saying stupid stuff at 42. Like twice that. Oh my God, I just realized I'm old enough to be his dad. That scares me. Anyway.
Listen, I don't blame him too much on it. I feel like his latest comments on his wording, I feel like I kind of believe it. For the most part, when he's talking about, his message that he was trying to get through was basically like, on to the next play. And that's kind of the mentality that you want from all your players. You can't get stuck and you can't get, on yourself and down yourself on these drops, because then he's never going to get over it. So if that's how he truly feels, then I can go with that. I can go with on to the next play.
Yep. Now he goes on to say, but like I said, I just can't think about going into the game dropping the ball. After I drop the ball, keep it in my head like I just dropped the ball. I've just got to move forward. So that's what I was saying. It's not like I'm saying, even though I dropped the ball, keep throwing me the ball. Not selfish. What I'm saying is, it's not something that I'm thinking about in my head after I drop the ball. It's next play mentality. I could drop 5 balls, and then after that, they come at me for the game winner, and then I catch the game winner. Then everybody's happy and stuff like that. But like I said, keep trusting me. Some plays are not going to be made. I'm aware of that, but some plays are going to be made. I feel like he's still kind of underplaying the fact that he's dropping the ball a lot. And that's kind of concerning to a certain degree, guys. Like there's got to be a level of accountability. And I do feel like he's trying to backtrack it, but he's not full backtracking it. It's kind of like he's like slow moonwalking it back there at that point. Like you got to go ahead and eventually say, this is on me. I need to fix this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's your actual opinion, but that's what you have to be publicly saying at least.
Yeah.
This is part of the...
Yeah. No, it's in that last comment, I would have really liked to hear a little throw in about, I got to get better. I got to, catch the ball. I got to get my hands stronger. Something. Just give me a little something, acknowledging that what's going on. There's an issue and you're working on trying to fix it.
Yeah. So this is part, like, we know, we all know that Nabers has an ego. When he got interviewed at Hard Knocks, we saw it. He has an ego. We know it was coming to this room.
Yep.
But you're also playing, high-level competitive sports for a living. You need to check that at the door a little bit, especially when you're, giving speeches like this. And it's fine to have an ego, especially when you're on the field. That's probably what got you to this high of a level.
Yep.
But you also have to take accountability and let the ego at the door when you're getting this. And that's just like you said, you just needs a little accountability. This is the part of the game that he's going to have to learn the politics, if you will. You need to hear what the fans have to want to hear. Yeah. Hey, listen, people are going to drop balls. I got to work on that. That's it. You don't have to go into this ramble about everything else. Move on.
You know what I thought was funny, the whole thing where he just said that? Because we got a little more to go with him on stuff he said. He talked for a while. That's part of the problem, guys. Keep it simple, stupid. There's a reason that's a phrase in sales. You don't keep talking. The more you talk, the more rope you're giving yourself to hang yourself with. But what he said was, he goes, I could drop 5 balls. Then after that, they come at me for the game winner, and then I catch the game winner. It's ironic because that's the complete opposite of what he did in Washington. Where, remember week 2, he had a great breakout game, and then he dropped what may have very well been the game winner, because it would have gotten them into field goal range at that point there. against the Commanders late in the game, and everybody was blasting him like you wouldn't believe. So it's funny because in his head, he kind of knows, like, hey, if I had reversed this and dropped some passes and then caught the game winner, it probably would all been forgiven. And he's not wrong in that. And I think that the fans got to recognize that mentality as well, because that's an issue. Like, a lot of people blamed him for that Washington game after that because of that one drop, but we're not looking at the fact of how many great catches he made prior to that.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for him making those great catches, we would not have been in a position to get that game winner. So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He goes on to say, just focus on more things you can control: my emotions, how I carry myself, character. Even though these things have been going down, how can you look at you in the mirror and just try and find a way for you to help the team out, help the team figure out how to win? Just like I said, focus on your character. You can't really do anything about it now. The record is the record, but you can still focus moving forward. There's always more for me. I think I could be doing some amazing things right now. Is it going the way I thought it was going? No, not really. But I'm still continuing to work on trying to get that out. Like I said, I feel like I could be doing way more. And I think he really gave an insight to his psyche right now, to be honest, with that last part, guys. I feel like, Slayton talked about it with his comments we went over yesterday, where Nabers is kind of like dealing with losses and team adversity for basically the first time in his career. And he talked about it in Hard Knocks. We knew right off the get-go. He said, "I hate to win more than I hate to lose more than I hate winning. I hate to lose more than I love winning."
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, third time's a charm. But we knew that going into. We knew what kind of personality he was like that, and we also knew because we heard, like you mentioned, I think you said, Rob, about the comments he made at was it the Combine? I believe they talked about Daniel Jones. Even we got on him big time for that because that was a stupid comment to make at a Combine. But it's like, he's young, he's dealing with things. I gotta think, just based on how he talks post game, that he may not be the person who has the best control of his emotions. Which, let's be honest, we all know people like that. We may call him a drama queen or whatever the case may be, but like, I think he's probably got a little bit of that in him, and that's fine as long as he can channel it the right way and expose it to the right people and hide it from the right people. And that's the thing you learn as you get older. At 21, you might not always recognize that you're a drama queen, but you might learn later on, hey, wait a minute, I'm getting a bad reaction because I'm doing this publicly. I need to do this off the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's not just people that are overly emotional about, this kind of stuff. It can be people with anger issues. It can be people with all kinds of stuff. Like, sometimes as you grow as a person in life, you learn, hey, I don't get the best reactions when I expose this publicly. This has got to stay behind closed doors. We all have that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, he backtracked it, but I don't think he backtracked enough. This is my synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it could have definitely been better, but he, like you said, we knew the player we were getting. We knew the attitude we were getting. We knew it all. But as long as you can put it on the field, we'll take it. It's just, right now he's just having a little bit of a slump. And listen, it's a lot of things going on right now with the offense. So can't put too much on it. But like you said, he just has to keep it short and sweet, especially right now with the way they're playing, the record, everybody in their face about how horrible they are. He just has to keep it short and sweet. Keep it short and sweet, and he'll smooth sail.
Yeah, well, but the crazy thing is, like you said, he's in a little bit of a slump right now to a certain degree of the last couple of games. But, we say that he's still averaging 60 plus yards over the last 4 games. He's if the way he is right now, I mean, obviously he's missed a couple games there. He's only played in 10 games. But and Rob knows I love doing the math here, 740 yards in 10 games. So in a full season, that'd put him at 1,258 yards. That's goddamn amazing for rookie season, guys. We got to recognize that he is not part of the problem right now. Is he perfect? No. Is he perfect? No. But there are some people, and we had a couple weeks ago where I got the chance to go on with Paul Dottino on his show, and it's just was crazy because he was blaming, Neighbors and people like that for the drops on DJ, it felt like, and a lot of people got on him for that. But it's like Neighbors is not part of the problem. He's part of the solution, guys. And I'll take somebody who's upset and frustrated over losing than somebody who's so accustomed to it and so okay with it that it doesn't even seem to bother him. That's the bigger issue if that's happening.
Yep.
So,
you need a competitor in the locker room.
Let's talk about a guy who probably is accustomed to losing, though, because he's been a Giant for quite a while.
Wow.
I went there. I did. And that's Darius Slayton. The man is up for a big award here. And here I am kind of like giving a slight diss in this. But yeah, Darius Slayton's been nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Of course, obviously that award named after the late Bears running back Walter Payton. For anybody who may be too young to have ever seen this man play, by all means, go onto YouTube and search Walter Payton. Go onto TikTok and search Walter Payton. Whatever video thing you want to watch, just search Walter Payton. The man was absolutely amazing. One of the best running backs I've ever seen play the game. I still my favorite still Barry. I can't help myself, but he's definitely in my top 5 that I was blessed to see play in my lifetime there. The NFL listed as saying the award recognizes an NFL player for outstanding community service activities off the field as well as excellence on the field, and they say it's considered the most prestigious in the NFL. Which I'm sorry, I still say the MVP is more prestigious. I'll take if I have a choice between Walter Payton Man of the Year and the MVP. I'm taking MVP. I'm sorry.
100%.
Yeah, I'll take the Super Bowl trophy, the MVP, and the Super Bowl MVP trophy over that. It's the 4th most prestigious to me.
Absolutely.
I'm such a jerk. I know it. I'm just happy that the NFL still gave the Giants a nominee for this because it does also say for excellence on the field as well, which is a very tough criteria for New York Giants. I'm just saying, like that's not easy to find someone who's doing good on the field right now. But Slayton, all kidding aside, like Slayton's a great guy, and anybody who watches this show on a regular basis knows that I'm a huge Slayton fan. I think he is probably one of the most underrated people to ever put on the Giants uniform. All the man does is put up 700 yards receiving every single year, regardless of who the quarterback is, regardless of how many games he plays in, and just consistently does it. But he's also been a great guy off the field as well. So he's involved with a lot of charities and the community events, including the Right Hand Foundation that he founded back in 2022. Like the guy has made it part of his thing to go ahead and just be part of the community and try to get back something there, Now, what that is, by the way, for those who are not familiar with it there, because I wasn't familiar, to be honest, till today when I heard about this. It's a foundation that helps single mothers specifically, offers long-term housing and financial help, literacy coaching, career development, all kinds of stuff specifically targeting single mothers out there. So, which is as good as a cause as you can basically get, guys. So, kudos to him first off for starting a foundation like that. Now, for being nominated, automatically, each nominee gets $55,000 to the charity of their choice. Whoever wins gets $256,000 to give to the charity of their choice. Now, for those doing the math, again, I love doing the math, Rob. You know this. I did the math on this. That's just over $2 million in donations the NFL is going to hand out with this. Now, those who watch on a regular basis know I'm quite the cynic. I can't help myself. I point out things that maybe I shouldn't. But $2 million is what like a third string quarterback gets. I'm sorry. That is nothing, NFL. You are slacking. I'm being serious right now. Like you are goddamn slacking. You are a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. This is a tax break that you're probably just saving on taxes anyway by doing. Like, don't get me wrong. It's great that they're highlighting people within the NFL that are doing great things in their community. I'm just got to call out the NFL in the process too and say, stop being cheap and give some real money.
Yeah, 55,000. It's like it's nice. It's really nice, but
yeah,
like you said,
yeah, like that's ridiculous. Like you spend more money on that in your practice squad than you do on the stop. Like don't like it's ridiculous. You buy more bottles of water with that than anything else at that point. Like, it's ridiculous. Like $2 million.
The Turtles.
$2 million. Practice squad is about $5 million. So yeah.
Yeah, like it's just now the revenue. I'm looking it up right now. The revenue that the NFL had in 2023, $20.24 billion. Think about that. This is 0.002.
Yeah.
It's less than that even. This is like such a small percentage of what they make. And I'm not saying they got to give all their money away. I'm not trying to suggest that the NFL become a full-on charity themselves. But guys, you can do better than $2 million. I'm sorry. I got to call it out. Anyway, as I get my little sidetrack there, Slayton's comments there after being told he was nominated. He said, it's hard to even put into words. It's not something that I saw coming at all. Even as a kid, you see all these things the players do, and you never know. Andre Whitworth won in 21, and I remember he got up there and was telling a story about one of his last years in the league. He said a guy came up to him and said, I was one of these kids at the Boys and Girls Clubs, and I made it big. To me, that's the ultimate. There's not really much you can do in your career or anything that would top that. Having someone come up to you and say, you inspired me, and here I am. Even if it wasn't the NFL, that would be the biggest accomplishment in the world. And then he was asked more and said, I think the award speaks to itself. That's why I think it's a tremendous honor to be part of it. I'm very grateful and humbled that I was selected. And he says, obviously, football is not forever, but as long as I'm able to, I will do my best to continue to do the things that we've done and continue to find new things, new ways to help people, new people to help. As long as you're able, you should help, you should give, you should try to help other people do better, those type of things. That will always be something that's part of my life. Guys, why are we not looking to re-sign this man? Seriously. Like, am I crazy? Like,
no, I love Slayton. I love
like,
Slayton.
what does this man have to do? Does he have to give like free drinks at every bar in the New York area? Like, what the hell?
Wouldn't hurt Slayton if you're listening.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like Giants, and listen, this is the Giants and Giants fans, I feel like never give this man enough credit. Again, 700 yards consistently every single year. Let's be honest. In 2022, Brian Dable did not want to use this man. He was inactive for the first game. Didn't even get a single catch the second game. Barely got on the field.
Like, he was barely taking snaps.
He's forced his way on. They draft Hyatt trying to replace the man, and he just keeps beating Hyatt out because Hyatt's just not that good. It's a whole separate issue. But it's like, when is this man going to get the respect he deserves? Because it's really, really sad. You know, am I crazy? I mean, Drew, I know, Rob. I know you agree with me, Drew. But what's your thoughts on, you know, Slayton and as far as his place in, you know, Giants lore, for lack of a better term, there?
Slayton has definitely been disrespected for the last couple of years, in my opinion. He, like you said, he puts up the yards consistently every year. You know, the problem is with Slayton is that he's had to kind of play the wide receiver one role a lot of the times, but I think he really flourishes in a wide receiver two role. And the guy is just such a nice guy. And, you know, he's dealt with all the adversity from fans, from the team not giving him the type of contract he originally wanted. You know, all these things. This guy is a 5th-round pick.
Yep.
And he's had to almost put the offense on his back for so many times. You know, and even when they had Galladay, you know, and Galladay was doing nothing. They paid him all that money, and he was doing nothing. Slayton was the one that had to come in and try to put up as much as he could just to try to carry the wide receiver group. You know, and now he's Darius Slayton's now on a 2-year, $12 million deal.
Last year. He's the last year of the contract. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about trading him during the season even. It's like, why would you want to get rid of this man? This is the guy you should want around Nabers as much as possible.
Exactly.
100%. I think a leader.
Yes. I think he's a great.
Let some of that rub off on Nabers. Like, Nabers is the pasta and he's the parm on the grater here. Like, let's go here. Like, more Parmesan, please. I'm just saying, like.
Yes. So, you know, some people I'm hearing, oh, you know, Slayton's going after next year or after this year, and I really hope that's not the case. You know, I think that he's perfect, you know, partner with Nabers, not necessarily on the field, but just more as, you know, the mentor in the wide receiver room. I think Nabers needs somebody like him in that wide receiver room. You know, So I hope they can work out some type of deal, you know, and figure it out, because I think that with a new quarterback, I think that it can work with Slayton and Nabers 1 and 2.
Yeah. Now I'm going to give you guys a little stats on him. We talked about this. We talked about Slayton in the past, but things have changed now. This season's been going on. So this year alone, Darius Slayton has passed Mark Bavaro and Plexico Burress on the all-time Giants receiving yards leaders, guys. Two guys that are held in extremely high regard within the Giants organization. He is 294 yards away from passing Sterling Shepard, who's also, again, highly thought of in this franchise. He is 300 yards away from beating out Jeremy Shockey. He is 600 yards away from Victor Cruz, 700 yards away from Hakeem Nicks and Ike Hilliard. Like, literally, this guy, if he was one more year with us, will probably be top 6 to top 7 in the Giants' all-time receiving yards leaders, guys. That's how good he has been with this team. I know it's not all yards. There's been a lot of drops in some scenarios. You know, I'm not trying to say he's a perfect player. And like you said, Drew, he's a Robin. He's not a Batman.
Yeah.
It's 100% the case. But he's been a Batman that's been forced into the Nightwing role.
Yep.
You know,
absolutely, he's ready.
Work.
So, like I said, we got to put a little respect on that man's name. And I also think if he does win, I don't want him to wear that patch like Dak Prescott wore, because that just was weird looking. I'm sorry. That was like, what?
600 yards from Victor Cruz. Now that's a stat.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the people are not
That's
understanding, I think, how good he has been for this team. I really don't think he gets that credit. Like, and he deserves to get it. Like, again, he is going to pass by the end of the year 4,000 yards with the Giants. There is only 4 people in the history of the Giants that have ever gotten to 5,000. Like, that's how close he is in with this kind of list here. And you got, of course, Amani Toomer, OBJ, Frank Gifford, and Tiki Barber, the only people that ever hit 5,000 yards. If he gets one more contract with us, he's going to hit that 5,000 yards. There's not a doubt in my mind. Barring any kind of crazy injury, knock on wood there. The Giants, you never know. Turf monster gets you. But I'm just saying, like, he deserves a little more respect. So,
yeah, that's another thing. He's healthy.
Yeah, he's been healthy, that's for sure.
That's big.
So, all right, we're going to break out into our injury report. Before we do that, guys, we're going to pay the bills real quick because Rob gets upset if I don't pay the bills, and we're going to be right back there with you guys.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
All righty, guys. And of course, if you want to support the show via YouTube, you can send super chats on comments there. You can also support on Facebook using stars as well. And like Moby said, we are all made of stars, guys. Don't forget that. So, and of course, if you want to do the free method at that point, there is a free way to help us out. You see that button that says subscribe or like, whatever the platform you're on? That's the button that's free and helps us out big time there, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell if you're on YouTube. And like I said, it really does a big way of helping push the content out to everybody, guys. So appreciate you all that have been doing that. We have gotten a lot of new subscribers over the last month, guys. We really do appreciate that because it means you like us. You really like us.
You really do like us.
You've touched me. And not the Michael Jackson way. All right, guys, let's get into before we get canceled here. Let's get into the injury report here for the Giants versus the Saints here. And like I said, guys, this is gonna take some time, so buckle up. This one's gonna be a long ride coming here because it's like
popcorn.
You know the Giants 53-man roster. That's basically like the injury report at this point, it feels like. So we're going to go through a little quick on the Giants stuff here because obviously you guys are more aware of who the Giants players are. Obviously, we'll give you a quick synopsis on who the Saints guys are since obviously we assume that you guys aren't as familiar with the Saints players. Be a safe assumption. Deonte Banks, our not so star cornerback that needs to be relegated back to CB2. Rib injury. He has not practiced Wednesday or Thursday. Obviously, that is not a good sign for him, being part of the game here coming up here. Jermaine Illuminor, quad injury. There was a big news with that because him and Evan Neal, who has the hip injury, both did not practice on Wednesday. And Rob seems very startled by this, as you can tell by his freeze frame here. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he did. Those two did not practice on Wednesday. They're both limited in practice though today, so that's good because, listen, we all know we all want the draft pick. I get it. I'm tired of being embarrassed though. Chris Hubbard and Josh Azudo out there as our tackles, guys, would be a guaranteed loss before the ball even gets kicked to start the game. Like, that's how bad that would be. Yep, there we go. I knew we were about to lose Rob. We lose him all the time. He was once been lost, but now he's going to be found later on. Don't worry. He was blind, but now he sees. The defensive lineman, Rakeem Nunez-Roches, neck/shoulder, did not practice either today or yesterday. Now, keep in mind, Dexter Lawrence also out. Not good. By the way, DJ Davidson, shoulder injury, limited in practice the last 2 days as well. So, yeah, guys, that is not good at all for the defensive line. At this point, they're about to call me up to see if I can play on Sunday. That's how bad it's getting here. Then we got Bobby Okereke with the back injury, did not practice yesterday or today. Tommy DeVito, limited practice on Wednesday, full participant today with that forearm injury. But we know Dable has already said that Drew Lock will be the starter in the game. But it does sound like, from everything you're seeing there with the progression, things getting better, that Tommy DeVito will probably be available to be the backup in the worst-case scenario there, which is, I guess, something. Bryce Ford-Wheaton, the sophomore wide receiver there, Achilles injury, limited practice on Wednesday, full participant today. And he's a guy that I really want to see him on the field as a wide receiver more before the season's out. Like, we got nothing to lose at this point, guys. Like, Hyatt and Ford-Wheaton should both be out there as much as possible right now for us to get a good idea of what they can do, because there's going to be a lot of changes coming this way, guys, in this offseason. And I don't just mean coach and GM, which you all know I want a new coach, I want a new GM. But with changes at the front office come with a lot of changes also on the roster as well. So linebacker Deontay Johnson, and we talked about him yesterday. He is on the 21-day window to come off the IR. He was limited on Wednesday and a full participant today. So that's a good sign. He's progressing. He's another guy I really want to see on the field there. Jordan Riley, because we don't have enough defensive linemen injured. Knee injury, limited participant yesterday and today. Do we even have anybody on the defensive line healthy? Like, this is going to be bad, guys. Like, you thought our run defense was bad before. Just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm telling you. Like, it's going to be really bad this week. Alvin Kamara would be a great fantasy pickup for anybody who's looking for a running back. I'm just saying, like you make the trade, as I just got a text message from Rob, by the way. Something happened to his internet. He should be back on in a minute there. Safety Dane Belton, hip injury, was just today, was limited to practice, was a full participant, wasn't even listed as being injured yesterday. Malik Nabers, groin injury, limited today. Again, had nothing designation-wise yesterday. And safety Tyler Newman, knee injury, same scenario, no designation yesterday, limited participant today. So I'd imagine those guys just a little sore, and those three should be good to go. But guys, the defensive line, am I right, Drew? Like, that's gonna be like,
dude, it's looking scary. It's like you said, I just want to see competitiveness. I want to see competitive football out there. And with this injury bug we got going around that locker room right now, it does not look good. It really
it's like
does.
the COVID version of an injury bug. God damn, it's like everybody's got it. God damn.
Yeah,
like, think about it here. Like, if you just look at who we got on this defensive line, like, you're gonna have Elijah Chapman is like the last healthy guy on the defensive line. Is that where we're down to? Like,
I like Chapman. He's a smaller guy, but I like him. He got some fire to him.
Listen, I like the story because he's an undrafted rookie free agent that happened to make the team. Like, I like the story. It's just for every single guy who's a Victor Cruz, there's 100 people who make the rosters and just never do anything. So I don't have a hail for a guy that's had opportunities in college and everything to show people, and then we're supposed to just magically think he's all of a sudden a good player.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen very often. It does happen. It's not impossible. Again, Victor Cruz is the classic example, but it doesn't happen all that often.
No, absolutely.
Saints-wise, guys, we got the tight end / quarterback / running back / everything kind of back. Taysom Hill did not practice yesterday or today. We already said yesterday he has an ACL tear. So I don't know why they're talking about he didn't practice. Of course he didn't practice. He got a goddamn ACL tear. He's not going to practice for a while.
He's out. He's done.
I guess we'll have to wait to see what happens tomorrow. I know technology's gotten better with ACL tears, but no one's coming back 2 days later.
Yeah, no.
They probably haven't even had surgery yet. They probably haven't. The swelling probably hasn't gone down yet. Cesar Ruiz, the starting right guard, concussion, did not practice Wednesday, limited participant on Thursday. We all know that's a crapshoot with concussions. You never know. That's not up to the team. It's not up to the player. It's up to independent medical staff, as it should be. But it just, you never know. Guard Nick Saldiveri, which is going to be interesting thing because he is the main backup guard for them. Knee injury, did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday. So if Ruiz is not able to go, that leaves them with some depth issues there potentially, because when you got a guy who doesn't practice 2 days in a row, it's usually not a good sign for playing. Juwan Johnson, the tight end, who is their tight end position is a little weird with the Saints. There's a couple of guys that are pretty much in all the time. So we got a couple of tight ends we will call starters. He is one of them. Foot injury, limited participant yesterday and today. Eric McCoy, the starting center, limited participant yesterday and today. Guys, is it just me? I would love to have Dexter Lawrence in this game. You're telling me the backup guard is going to be out. The starting guard might be out. And now your starting center is already injured as well. Sign me up for this. Seriously. Like, Dexter Lawrence could have had 2 sacks in this game. Instead, we'll have, Nacho probably get absolutely nothing, and Elijah Chapman get close but not quite get there.
Well, hopefully Shane Bowen will, come up with some blitz packages down the middle or something.
Listen, you could try to blitz all you want. When you got no defensive line, it's going to be
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
maybe McFadden could get in there somehow.
And no, Karake probably even with that injury too. We'll see, but not practicing again back-to-back days is not good. Wide receiver Bub Means, which is, by the way, one of the coolest names in the NFL. Like, could you imagine Bub Means? Like, what is your name? Bub Means. No, what's your real name? Bub Means. So really, that's my name. Like, the guy walks around handing people his driver's license to prove it, probably. Ankle injury, limited participant yesterday, did not practice today. Now, he has not played since October 27th. He's also a backup receiver that gets like 1 or 2 catches a game, if that. So not a huge loss for them per se. They're used to not having him. And even when he is there, he's, bottom end of the depth chart kind of guy. Tight end Foster Moreau, another guy who's listed as a starting tight end. Again, just the weird system they have where they use multiple tight ends on such a regular basis. Shoulder injury, limited participant both yesterday and today. Guard Lucas Patrick, who's their starting left guard. So the starting center and both starting guards are going to be gone. And God damn it, Dexter Lawrence is injured.
No doubt.
Oh my gosh. Calf injury, limited participant yesterday and today. Then we have a guy whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce here, guys. I'm telling you right now. Like, I'm not trying to be rude about it. Like, I don't want to mispronounce people's last names. I'm going to attempt it, I guess. Tona Capasagon. I'm probably mispronouncing the hell out of that, guys. Backup defensive lineman, Achilles, full participant yesterday and today. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. Well, of course, the Honey Badger don't care. Forearm injury. Obviously, he's starting safety in the league still. Full participant yesterday and today. Kendre Miller, the TCU running back that was a 3rd-round pick just last year, but hasn't done much so far in this league, is got the hamstring issue. Full participant both yesterday and today. Again, another guy who has not played since the 27th of October. And here we go. We got to fix this now because guess who's back? Back again.
Robbie's back.
Don't tell anybody because they'll stop.
Fix the internet. Fix the internet.
And we got Pete Werner. They're one of their starting linebackers. He's their will linebacker. Hand injury, full participant both yesterday and today. So the big thing is, guys, is that you got basically the entire interior offensive line for the Saints is going to be out or injured. The entire defensive line Talking not obviously edge rushers, but we're talking, the 3, 4, 5 technique guys.
Yeah.
Those guys are basically all injured as well. Like, this is going to be a sloppy game. Let's be very frank about that right off the bat. Like, you don't expect the Giants and the Saints to be the epitome of NFL football by any shape of the imagination. But when you have the lines of scrimmage that jacked up, that's not going to be pretty, guys, to watch.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So I will say this, though. At least it seems like some of these starters are going to play for the Saints on that line. There's not going to be 100%. And we already know Dexter Lawrence is out, and we already know that besides Dexter Lawrence, our defensive line sucks.
Yep.
So, yeah. Like I said, again, guys, if you have the chance to trade for Alvin Kamara this week, it'd be a spectacular week to do that. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. I'm serious. I would not be shocked if he has 150, 200 total yards against us. Like, I think it's going to be that bad. I really do.
That's definitely possible.
The gauntlet of running backs that we're about to go against there. Like, absolutely insane not to have Dexter Lawrence right now. So think about this. We got Alvin Kamara this week. We got next week we go against the Ravens. So we have their great running back there who just keeps surprising people. Lamar Jackson. I mean Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody got offended that I said that on one time. Like, you can't call him a running back. I'm sorry. He plays like a running back that throws occasionally. It's a different system. Yeah, I'm going to call him that. And it's not even a diss necessarily. The guy runs the ball very well. Like, he's a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. He's got a better running career than half the running backs that get in this league, if not more. That alone is a really scary back-to-back there. But then from there, you go to the Falcons, game I will be at, by the way. That's official. Bijan Robinson, obviously. Tyler Algier, a really two-headed monster. People forget about how good Tyler Algier could be. If he was on any other team but the Falcons was a starting back, I'm telling you, he'd be a consistent, 1,000-yard rusher in this league still. Then you go to the Colts, Jonathan Taylor. Then you go to the Eagles, assuming they play Barkley. God damn, we're about to go through a gauntlet of freaking running back. Like, that's ridiculous. That's as bad as a gauntlet we have with receivers to start the year. Like, that's insane. And to have almost every single defensive lineman injured, and to have, Dexter Lawrence out for the year no matter what, we know he's not going to play. Like I said, guys, that first overall pick is looking mighty good right about now.
It definitely is, because at this point,
like,
I can't see us. I can't see us not finishing the season with 2 wins.
No, I mean that's honestly,
it's almost inevitable at this point.
Maybe we sneak out one somewhere and get a third win, but that I can't see anything beyond that. I really can't. And the fun thing is for us as Giants fans is that the Jaguars and the Raiders play each other.
That's the best thing that can happen to us. Thank God.
One of them has to win. And the Jaguars, we'll get into the picks in a minute, are playing the Titans this week.
Yes.
So whenever you're playing the Titans, you have a chance to win. Yes. Even the Giants would have a chance to win against them. All you have to do is pour a little mayonnaise on the sideline, distract Will Levis, and you're good to go.
Next to the Dunkin' Donuts coffee station.
Yes. So for us Giants fans, we need the Jaguars to beat the Titans, and then we need the Raiders to beat the Jaguars.
Yes.
And us stay at 2 wins. It's going
to be interesting to see Mac Jones again. Mac Jones as the quarterback the rest of this year now.
Yeah.
With Trevor Lawrence for a little bit. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. So, all righty, guys, let's get into those picks because, guys, we're 45 minutes in. We haven't done the picks yet. Y'all know we love to talk about picks.
Pick a pick.
You guys did so good in your picks. We might have to talk about a parlay soon.
Listen, did someone say parfait?
Ooh, give me some parfait.
I can't help it. I love the movie Shrek. It's spectacular. Which I heard they're making another one of, by the way. They're making another Shrek.
No.
They are.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Keep on a live action one.
Keep on making. Oh God, no.
I'm only kidding.
Don't Disney it up here, okay? Stop it. Not every animated movie needs to be a live version. Looking at you, Bob Iger.
They do that with How to Train Your Dragon.
Listen, that I'm actually kind of curious about because that actually could be really good live. That one's asking to be done live. I'm sorry. Nobody asked for a live version of The Lion King, which wasn't even live. It was CGI'd with computers instead. It was just the Pixar version, basically. Or
Pretty much.
live action version of The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Like, what? Nobody asked for that. Anyway, I digress. Goose fraba. For those who don't know, I'm huge into Disney. I can't help myself. I live an hour and a half away from there. I go all the time. Insane. It is the happiest place on earth. But let's get into the picks here, guys, because we got to do our picks and a weekly preview here for week 14 there, as we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who, of course, will remind you in this segment, if he was actually here, how many people got picked ahead of him at the wide receiver position and what pick they were picked at as well. But let's get right into it here with our recap from last week. So in the end, guys, again, 16 games. We had a full slate because of the Thanksgiving games. Nobody had a bye week. So out of the 16 games, I had 15 of the straight up picks correct. Rob had all 16, which I think is the first time we've ever had somebody get everything in one category correct, by the way.
100%. I was close one other time.
Usually I talk trash, but I'm going to give you kudos, Rob. I'm going to give you kudos. I know.
Are you feeling okay over there?
Don't expect it next week. Of the spread picks, I had 11 of the 16 right. You had 9 of the 16 right, Rob. Of the over-unders, that was the only category we did not do so good on. I only had 6 of the 16. You had 7 of the 16. And then you and I each had 4 of our trifectas, having the spread pick, the overall pick, and the over-under correct on the same game at that point there. So that gave us a total of both of us with 36 points for the week at that point. So on the season, I stay with my 12-point lead that I intend to continue keeping my lead this week. And you are not going to come back like last year out of the end of their, like the Patriots against the Falcons, because that's what you did to me. God damn it. It was not fair of you. I'm like Matt Ryan over here of the picks. Not cool. So
still going to happen.
Now, we did forget to give our picks for tonight's game, by the way, yesterday's show. We were very bad. We're going to be scolded. But we'll go over that when we do our selections here. But we do our recap of the week there, because Rob and I did put our picks in the spreadsheet before the game started. So that way there's no falsities here. So we're going to start right off with the 1 o'clock games. We got the Jets at the Dolphins here to start off there. The Dolphins are giving up 5.5 points, and the over-under is 44.5. And guys, I can't believe it's only a 5.5 point spread the way the Jets been playing, especially in the second half of this part of the season here. Like, the Jets are almost as bad as the Giants. I could say that if I was a Jet fan, I would be even more upset than I am as a Giant fan now, because there was expectations of this team. No one really had expectations of the Giants, but it is bad, absolutely bad. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins will easily win by a touchdown, if not more at that point. So I got the Dolphins to win. I got the Dolphins to cover the spread with no issue whatsoever. I am also going to go over on the points, and not because I think that the Jets will score a ton, because the Jets are facing a defense that's been actually much better this year than they were last year. But I think that the Dolphins will just put up that many points. You know, they're going to put up like 30 points or so against this Jet team. So, yeah, I got Dolphins, and over.
Drew, what do you think about this game?
I already told you.
Yeah.
It gets so confusing with two Drews. Drew with the W, Drew with the U.
You know what?
Drew,
I think
you.
Miami is back in their weather. You know, they got rid last week. You know, they were in the cold and they didn't do so great, but now they're back in their element, back in their weather at home. I cannot see how they don't take care of the Jets over 7. Just their running game alone. Tyreek Hill hasn't even been doing that great lately. He has the injury with his wrist and stuff like that. But their running game, the offensive scheme just works. And the Jets are just, like Drew said, they're a headache and a half. I don't understand how they have all these top-tier players and they still can't figure it out. You know, so 100%, I'm going to go over the 5.5. Scores at least 7+ on them. And I'm actually going to go under on that 44.5. I'm going to go under 44.5.
You know what, Drew? I agree with you. There we go. Next one up.
You have to be more specific. Which Drew do you agree with?
No, I actually, it's obviously the Finns. They that's fantastic.
So we are continuing our tradition as Rob is on the pick sheet with the anonymous name because Google Sheets gives a anonymous animal whenever you're on there. So this week you are anonymous duck apparently. I think like last week you were what like anonymous lemur or anonymous platypus, whatever.
I think it was sloth.
Sloth, okay. But yeah, there you are, anonymous duck. Which I don't know why, but that looks like a duck that's like constipated and having trouble popping one out. I'm saying, like,
laid an egg.
I never thought we'd talk about constipated ducks on this show, but here we are. You never know what's going to happen on Two Giant Goofballs. God damn it!
No, but anyway, going back to the other animals here, the dolphins. So since two concussed come back, they have not been that super high power offense what they once were. They put up points, they put on Beasley, but they haven't been putting up crazy amount of points. They are going back to Miami. They're playing in their heat. They like putting their fans, they like putting the away team in the spotlight by literally in the stadium by having the sun go down right in their face. Fantastic. Love trolling. But the Jets are just a dumpster fire. Aaron Rodgers, 4 years old, gets the head coach fired to blame everyone else but Aaron Rodgers. He can't take accountability of anyone. They got so banged up. Their defense, it's never his fault.
Never his fault. Just ask him.
Like, just every player, there's a lot of talent there, and it's just the coaching around. They just are not being coached, and they just got a lot of toxicity in that locker room. So I've taken the Dolphins to win, the Dolphins to cover. Probably like Drew said, it's probably going to be like a +7, +10. But I'm going to take it in the under because I don't have faith in the Jets to do much of anything, and I don't think Miami themselves are going to put up 45. Fantastic.
I know I'm not going crazy.
Oh, you probably are going crazy. You're on the show, so therefore, let's.
Pretty much. So you got the Falcons going into Minnesota, don't you know?
Oh, don't you know that?
Don't you know? The Vikings are favored by 5.5 points in this game, and the over-runners at 46 points. And obviously, on paper, the NFC North is probably the best division of football right now when it comes to at least team win-wise, because you got the first place Lions right now with 11 wins, 10 straight wins, playing against the third-ranked team in that division that has 9 wins. And now you're talking about Minnesota has 10 wins themselves, playing a home game against the Falcons, who are struggling at 6-6 right now. But it's also a little bit of a revenge game, possibly, for Kirk Cousins. I don't think that matters. I'm going to take the Vikings to win this game.
I don't buy that. Yeah, I don't think it matters.
I honestly think that ended very amicably. You know,
it did. I like being juicy.
Come back from injury and, you know, at least do that whole like horn thing they have in the stadium. I don't know what the term is for it, but they have that thing exactly. It's some kind of horn. I think it sounds like this. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, that's what they have. And they go ahead and let him do that and say goodbye to the fans. I thought that was a classy move, but they did that last year, honestly. But yeah, it's a revenge game. That's
I was like getting saucy with it.
You're trying. You're trying.
But Minnesota's also playing a little closer games, and it's kind of like almost like a must to get into the playoffs for the Falcons, because if Cousins doesn't play well now, he throws another 4 picks, whatever. Guess what? We can see what Penix Jr. has to offer, but I don't think that's going to happen in this game. He's playing in the Dome. He's used to that stadium. He's used to the fans. I think they're going to cover the points there, and I think it's going to be done in the under. It's more defensive game.
Yeah, so
46.
I got simple Vikings under is where I'm going 100%. I think the Vikings are going to absolutely destroy the Falcons this thing. I really do. I think he got 4 interceptions last week by Kirk Cousins. The man does not tend to deal well with adversity. It's just part of who he is what makes him an average quarterback.
It's not prime time.
No, but what it is it's prime time for his career. He's 36 years old right now. He's about to lose his job potentially to Michael Penix if he keeps playing the way he's playing. He's feeling pressure. And he's going against his former team, as you mentioned. Like I said, I'm joking about the revenge thing, but don't think that don't matter to him. So he's going against his former team. He's just coming off a 4-interception game. He's trying to keep this rookie that's breathing out his neck on the bench at that point. That's a lot of pressure for him. Maybe not a lot of pressure for the team. It's a lot of pressure for him specifically. And he has that ability to falter under pressure. So, yeah, I'm going Vikings under.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably go Vikings under as well, just because I think it'll be, if I had to predict, I would probably go with like a 23-21, maybe even a 23-17. So just right under.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the game of the week, guys. If you're a Giants or Saints fan, for nobody else, the Saints at the Giants here. So the Saints are 4.5-point favorites. The over/under is 41. Now, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret that the Giants are not only on a 7-game losing streak, they're on a 7-game against the spread losing pick to go along with that. So picking the Giants for anything has not been very good for almost 2 months now, basically. And I don't see that changing in this game here. I got the Saints to win. I got the Saints to cover. And I also have the under in the points because anytime the Giants are playing, I'm probably going to bet the under. Because the Giants are putting up 14 points a game on average this year. So you're basically saying that the only way this thing goes over is if the Saints put up more than 27 points, which is possible. Don't get me wrong.
Alvin Kamara just going ham.
Yeah. But it's not typical in the NFL to put up that kind of points there.
Yeah,
so because of that, I'm going to go with the under, and I'm just going to hope I'm right.
And I'm just going to ditto you on that one.
Okay.
I'm the same exact on that one.
Yeah, I'm taking crazy pills, guys, apparently, because I'm taking the Giants to lose this game, but I think it's going to be more of a slop game. It's going to be cold, even though they're not playing, they're playing in MetLife. It's going to be cold. I'm taking the under in this game. I'm taking the over in this game because I do think these lines are beat up. There's too many injuries here, and I think it's going to be a very sloppy game with a lot of mistakes to end up in touchdowns and field goals. And I'm going to take the Giants to cover the spread here.
It's a bold move. That's a
bold move. I lost a lot of points off this. So.
Over 41?
Yeah, over 41.
Yeah, that's bold move there. All right.
Panthers going into Philadelphia, playing the Eagles. The Eagles are 12.5 point. This is the biggest spread of the week, boys. And the over/under in this game is at 46.5.
That's
points.
A bigger spread than an orgy at the Playboy Mansion. I'm just saying, that's how bad that is. That's
deep and wide. Deep and wide is the spread.
Wow. 12.5 points.
Yeah. But yeah, the Eagles are they're 9, 7, or 8 wins straight right now. They're playing solid football. Their defense is coming around. I think this is an Eagle domination game. I think Eagles against the spread. I'm taking the over just because Barkley's going to feast in this game again. As long as he does not get hurt, it's not a feast game. And we just know that Nick Sirianni just doesn't let up. He's just going to keep throwing that ball down. He's going to keep running that ball, and I think it's going to be over before the halftime.
Yeah, I'm looking at what's going on with the Panthers lately. And there's something different about this Panthers team since Bryce Young got back from being benched, guys. There really
agree.
is. And I'm not suggesting he is going to be good in this league, but he's better than he was. I think that's a safe thing to say at this point. If you look at the last games that they had here, they just lost by 3 points to the Buccaneers last week. And if you watch the game, again, I live in Tampa Bay. I was actually helping out a buddy of mine who's doing a show for this, and point blank, the Panthers should have won that game. They lost by only 3 points to the Chiefs, which is par for the course. Everybody loses by 3 points to the Chiefs, but that's still an average. That's better than what they would have done typically. They beat us, as everyone tends to. They beat the Panthers by 1 point. That's 4 weeks in a row that they've kept it really close now. And I just think something's kind of been that switch has been flipped a little bit there. and the team has gotten better. Dave Canales is a guy that fixed Geno Smith in Seattle. He fixed Baker Mayfield last year in Tampa Bay. If there's anybody who can fix the shortcomings of Bryce Young, it's going to be Dave Canales. The guy who's got a record of doing it now with the guys that were point blank 100% reclamation projects in Geno and Mayfield. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Eagles will win this still, but I think the Panthers will keep it closer than the 12.5. And I do have the over on the over-under as well there. So I got Eagles, Panthers over.
Yep, I'm actually good on the same thing. I agree with you 100% on that.
See, the Drews are aligned.
I see the Drews aligned. That's what happens.
I think that I really agree with Drew when he says that they've been competitive lately, and especially against the Chiefs. And I think that if they hadn't played the Chiefs and they were playing the Chiefs this week with a 12.5-point spread, everybody would be picking that as well. Just like they are with the Eagles. They only went down by 3. So I definitely think they smashed that spread, and there's no way that they over 12.5.
And listen, you guys aren't wrong for saying that, but the Chiefs also have been just barely squeaking wins out.
Yep.
You play the Buccaneers, who's a divisional game. So, yes, they always play each other tough.
But
and
they don't play anybody tough recently, the Panthers.
That's according to what you said.
No, I'm saying until lately. That's what I'm saying. That flip has been switched.
But also the Eagles, taking our bias hats off, have been dominating football the past 2 months.
Yes.
They have.
So,
but dominating.
There's a lot of butts here.
Yeah, they're still going to win. There's a lot of butts. We're going back to the orgy here, but I'm just saying, like, that's what's, who would have thought I'd talk about ducks, orgies, and everything in this episode? It's crazy.
Duck, there's an orgy.
Let's go with the Panthers and Eagles are going to be the bait game of the week with a 12.5 spread.
Like I said, that's exactly what it is. They're just trying to get some money to spread both sides at that point, so Vegas can't lose too much. That's what I feel like this is 100%. So
yeah, it's a bait game, I think.
All righty, next up.
Your
turn, Rob. Okay, I can't keep track. I get so distracted by this orgy talk. We got the Browns at the Steelers, guys. And that's going to be an interesting game overall because, first off, Jameis Winston has been so much fun to watch the last couple weeks. It's not even funny. Like, I still say, if he's available as a bridge quarterback next year, I'm all there for it. Like, I think
I've been saying it since this offseason.
We did say it last offseason. We did both say it. You and I both said it. Like, why not bring in Jameis Winston to compete with Daniel Jones? And honestly, if they had done that, he probably would have won the job outright. Point blank.
Listen, he did last week exactly what I said he was going to do this year.
Yep. Throw for 500 yards, get 2 pick sixes. Like, that's what he does.
He'll get you in between 5 to 7 touchdowns. You don't know which team's going to throw it to, and he's going to get you 400-some yards.
And I want that man mic'd up every single goddamn game he's a part of. I don't even care if he's on the bench from now on. I want him mic'd up because it's hilarious. Like, where has this been his whole career? I had no clue he was like that until all of a sudden a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden it started popping. And it's like it was that snow game they had, a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Jameis Winston just loves playing football, and it's so much fun to watch the joy this man has, along with the ridiculous things he says combined with it. Like, oh my God, like, sign me up for this. Like,
he's like a celebrity to WWE.
Yeah, like I want Hard Knocks Jameis Winston. Like, just follow Jameis Winston around. Like, seriously, sign me up. Oh my God. Anyway, though, who would have thought last week that the Steelers would be the offensive juggernauts of the week last week? Like, oh my God, like it's. What's going on in Pittsburgh? All of a sudden, Russell Wilson of old, man. Woo.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know. Somebody tells you. Something.
Really just tells you how bad Sean Payton effed that up in Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's doing very well with Bo Nix, who's exceeded expectations I had for him. But Russell Wilson just, there was a guy that he could have worked with, and just whatever reason, the two didn't work out. Anyway, I got the Steelers to win this game because, let's be honest, they're just a better team right now. Now, I do think, though, there's a 6.5 point spread that the Steelers are giving up. I do think it'll be a little closer than that. I think it's going to be like a game separated by like a field goal, and that's it. So I do have the Browns to cover the spread, 43.5 points. Whew. Steelers did that by themselves last week, pretty basically. And we're going to have Jameis Winston throwing pick sixes and touchdowns all game long. So therefore, I got the over on that. So I got Steelers, Browns over.
I really don't want to say the word ditto again.
You can use a different word if you want.
Same.
There we go. Rob, what is going on with your camera?
Oh my God.
Are you blue?
I'm part of the Blue Man Group. You guys didn't know?
In the water.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. What's going on here?
Something happened with my camera. I'll mess with it after a second. Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers to win this game. They've been playing some great football. They've been flying under the radar good football. 9 wins. We all thought we're going to
Hold on 1 second, Rob. Hold on 1 second, Rob. I got you. Go for it.
Perfect. Thanks. Yeah. So Steelers have been playing great football. 9 wins. We were talking about at the beginning of the year. It's does Tomlin somehow get to be above 500 this year? Well, guess what? No matter what happens, he's above 500. The Browns has also been, doing what the Browns do best, playing terrible football. And it's just at the beginning of the year, but they've been coming around since Winston's come around. But I don't think it's enough for them to cover this spread against this divisional rival who's been just doing smash mouth football. So I'm taking.
Hey, now you're an all-star. Get the game on. Go play.
And then I'm taking the over. Every time the Steelers has played one of the divisional rivals this year, it's gone over, and they've just playing great football. And unless it's just the whole division has gone over. Unless you're the Ravens and the Bengals, you keep it close. Otherwise, it's just going.
Yeah. Can we just not say Smash Mouth in the show? Because I do have that song in my head now. We lost Rob again. Oh, he lost his camera. That's why he's still there. I see him I still see him. He got his mic and always trying to figure that part of that. There he is.
There.
All his duckiness there.
Listen, I do want to edit my thinking on that game because I just realized that I said same for you, Drew, but you did say that they were going to be under. They were going to be against the spread, right? That's what you said.
I said over, but I said Browns would cover the spread.
Oh no, I think that the way James plays.
I appreciate that.
No, the way James plays, he can throw for a lot and he can do his thing, but I just see him, going downfield at the end of the game and just making another mistake and throwing a bad throw. So I'm actually going to say that the Steelers are going to keep it at 6.5. They'll win over.
All right.
They'll win by touchdown. I can see that.
So you're agreeing with Rob instead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm with that one on that one.
There we go.
So let's talk about the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Going down
the battle of the Pirates.
We need the Raiders to win. We need the Raiders to win.
Yes.
Probably
Let's
not.
Go Raiders. Let's go Raiders.
Yeah. So, they're the Bucs are giving up 6.5 points to the Raiders in this game. So, yeah, could happen. But the over/under's at 43.5 points.
Could happen.
Yeah, a lot of things could happen. But I'm going to take the Bucs in this game. They're just obviously the better team fighting for the divisional. Still fighting for the division down there. Raiders are way out of it. And I'm going to take the Bucs to cover them because just once again, what's a better team? But I mean, you still got Max Crosby could really get after some things over against the Buccaneers, but yeah, nothing's going to be enough. But I'm also going to take the under in this game at 43.5 points.
Well, this game is actually 46.5, if I'm correct. But you're still going to be under that anyway. Since you're under 42, you're definitely going to be over 46.
Yeah.
Did I mistype it? Because I had 43.5. Let's see here.
46.
I did
yeah.
mistype.
Oh, I have 43.
No, I mistyped it. 46.5. If this is just me fat figuring our spreadsheet that he and I use for our picks, so that we can keep track of how bad I beat Rob's butt that week. So yeah,
or he cheats with that. Change the numbers later.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, I got the Buccaneers to win this. I got the Buccaneers to cover, and I got the over even because I think the Bucs are just going to destroy this and win this battle with the Pirates there at that point. So,
arg meaty.
Yes, you're going to shiver the Raiders' tempers.
Yeah,
shiver me tempers. I ever tell you my business idea I had down here? By the way, I want to start up a smoothie place where people dress up as pirates, and you get handed a smoothie. Here's your smoothie. I think it'd be hilarious. Like people would like just buy it for. It would work for anything, obviously, but there's something about Florida and Tampa having smoothies. It just goes along with it.
Yeah.
What were you getting a smoothie? Well, I bought it from this pirate near the beach over there. It'd be spectacular.
Your smoothie.
Here's your smoothie. Oh, the weird things my brain thinks of. I also thought about starting up a thing where you can rent boats, like just small like rowboats, and I was gonna paint them like bananas, so you can rent banana boats. I'm just telling you, these are weird ideas, but they'd work. They would
come along, come jump on my banana boat.
It's not quite as good as my pop-up book version of the Kama Sutra with pull tabs. That would be an interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. How'd the pop-up move like that?
How do you do that? Well, there we go. Let's look at the pull tab.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I told we're gonna cancel one day. Next game that we want someone to win specifically on is the Jaguars at the Titans here, guys. Go Jags. Go Mac Jones.
Go Jaguars. Let's go Jaguars.
Who would have thought we're counting on Mac Jones to potentially save us here? And, listen, guys, again, they're playing the Titans. Remember the Titans? They suck. Okay? Like, that's where we're at.
So do the Jaguars.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, and this is when I'm as a Giant fan saying that the team sucks, it's bad. Because I have no room to talk whatsoever, like point blank. Like I should just say every team is great because this would be the easier route to not get made fun of. But the Titans are bad, guys. They're not. They're like top 5 worst teams in the NFL right now. So Jaguars are top 3. So I mean, obviously the Jags are worse, especially since they're now without the perp plus version of Daniel Jones here, with Trevor Lawrence being out because of that hit that he took there last week. But listen, Mac Jones is the guy that has at times not looked horrible and at times looked absolutely horrible. We don't know if Mac Jones, like we're going to get. If we get the Mac Jones that worked under Josh McDaniels, that had him rolling and looking like a decent quarterback his rookie year, are we going to get the Mac Jones that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge jacked up and messed up in New England? Like, I don't know which one he is. Yeah. I will say this. As much as Doug Peterson has not been good as a head coach as of late, the man still knows offense. He still coached Nick Foles to a goddamn Super Bowl. He knows offense. He knows how to coach quarterbacks. And I'm going to hope for our sake, for their sake, that Mac Jones is more the rookie version of Mac Jones and the Jaguars somehow win this game. I am so hoping for it that I am goddamn picking the Jaguars to win this game and will us into the first overall pick here when the Raiders beat the Jaguars in another week or two. And then we got Jags to win. We got Jags to go ahead and cover because they're actually getting 3.5 points in this game here. Yep. And I'm going with the under because 39.5 is about, as low as you usually see a spread. But guys, it's still not low enough with these offenses here. This is going to be like a 17-10 kind of victory is what I'm guessing here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Roar.
Roar. Because I'm going.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wouldn't bet this game. You guys bet with your hearts here. I would not bet this game. The only thing I would probably bet is the under in this game. So I agree with you there, but I'm going to do the opposite with you guys. I'm going to Titans because you're talking about.
Drew didn't agree with me necessarily yet. He
said same.
Oh, I did say.
Did you say same? I missed it. I was just ditto.
I know you're too busy talking about your stuff.
But listen, if you were as spectacular as me, you would talk about yourself all the time as well. I'm just saying, like, don't blame me.
So much for having a co-host, huh? But listen, when you talk about 4 sides of football, that's there's 6 sides, but when you talk about the 4 sides of football, you got Trevor Lawrence is going to be out for the year. You're going to shut him down. You got some other key injuries. They've had the 32nd worst defense out there. I'm not trying to say Will Levis is an all-star in offense because he is also trash. The only part of football that's good on this that's going to be on this field is going to be the Titans defense. They keep low-scoring games. And because of that, I'm going to take the Titans to win.
They're actually averaging 27 points, I think, a game. We talked about that yesterday, if I remember right, the Titans. They're not nearly as good as they used to be on defense whatsoever.
Well, it's way better than any size of football that's going to be on this field. Like I said,
no, you know what? I'm going to look it up real quick. Well, because I am actually very curious where we're at here with this whole thing. So, yeah, 27.7 points per game the Jaguars are giving up at that point there. Let's see. The Jaguars are not player stats, team stats. 28.3, 29th. Oh my God, they are that bad. 19 points per game by the Jaguars, and the Titans are scoring 18.4 points. See, the Jaguars are better at something. Oh yes. Go Jags.
all I said was the best side of football is the Titans defense, but glad you got that for you. All right, let's go into the 4 o'clock games.
Let's go into the 4 o'clock games.
You got the Seahawks playing going
Cardis.
to Scottsdale, playing the Cardinals. The
It's Glendale,
Cards-
wrong Dale.
Sorry, Glendale. Yeah, whatever.
One of the
Glendale.
Dales. Chippendale, Rescue Rangers.
Chippendales.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Not the
Cards are
other
favored
Dale.
by 2.5 points
Thought
in
of
this
that
game.
perfect.
Ooh. Over under this game is at 44.5 points. This should be an exciting game. This division has been playing each other super close, and it's flipping back and forth. And going into this week, Seahawks are number one with half a game lead, if you will, a game lead. But the Cardinals' defense has been playing better than a lot of people expected. I'm taking the Cardinals to win this game. I'm taking them in the cover in a very exciting game. And I'm also taking the over. Even though I just talked about the defense, but I don't think there's much of a defense with Seattle in recent times. So
I'm
over.
with you almost. I'm just my only difference is I got the under on the game. I got cards under. I just think that the Cardinals, are gonna just do enough. I mean, a divisional game that always is a close game, as we always say. But I think these are two teams that are defensive minded as well. They got defensive coaches, and they're going to do just enough to get you the under at that point. By the way, though, who would have thought we could put money on it that it'd be all 4 teams in the NFC West would be within 2 games, and the 49ers be in last place?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like every year there's surprises. Like that's the surprise for me, and I get the injuries.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you have CMC and Nick Bosa out, it's
I feel like the whole team's been out at some point.
100%. They've been banged up.
I actually
Drew, what do you think?
Drew, you.
I'm taking Seahawks.
Ooh, getting a little spicy over here.
And
I'm
it's
thinking
spicy the meatball.
It's a spicy chicken wing.
It's only 2.5 points. I'm taking Seahawks, and I'm going to take the over on the 44.5. I think it's going to be one of those games where they just go back and forth.
This was Drew's moment where he's like, you know what, guys? I'm going to do something different, goddammit. I'm not going to follow the trend. I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing right now.
Lose yourself in the moment, bro.
Drew, you respect that.
I can see Metcalf and them having a good game, and
I sure hope so.
yeah, James Conner and Malik Nabers have a good game. I see it going back and forth, and I see it going over that 44.5.
All right, so we got next game up we have is the Bills at the Rams. And I think what the Bills should do is do a Josh Allen swap at that point. Let's have Josh Allen from the Jaguars over to the Buffalo for the week. Let's have Josh Allen from the Bills over to the Jags for the week. And that just solves so many issues for all of us, okay?
Yeah.
Jaguars get a quarterback. We get our first overall pick. I'm just saying this would work out great for everybody.
Yeah, work.
But yeah, Bills at the Rams here, guys. And I don't think there really needs to be much of a discussion of this. The Bills are just freaking ridiculously good this year. The Rams have had ups and downs there, so to speak, there, but they're basically an average team, and their record shows that they're 6-6. So you got an average team versus a very good team. Guess what happens in that scenario usually? The really good team tends to win. So you got the Bills win. 3.5 point spread is all you got. And honestly, because of the fact that it is in in LA this game. It's probably why there's only a 3.5 point spread, but that's not nearly enough for my taste there. So I got Bills to win, Bills to cover, and I do have under in the points as well. Though it was a little tempting to go the over, but I feel like the under is the way to go.
Yeah, I definitely I could see the Bills taking over that game. 3.5 points is a little scary though, because this game is screaming field goal at the end to win the game. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go Bills cover, and 49.5 is kind of high. So I'm gonna go under on 49.5.
Yes, at least we all can agree on the Bills here, because Josh Allen, he's number one MVP candidate right now. The guy's playing lights out, great football. The Bills have been nasty all year. They have not let up on offense. They go out there, they're winning by 20. Let's score another 10 points because after you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the over because they're just smashing the ball down. And guess what? Matt Stafford's a veteran quarterback in this league. The Bills' defense isn't the best. Like, they're good, but they're not, what they were a few years ago. So I do think that Sean McVay could scheme out some plans and get 20 points on the board, but it's not going to matter when Josh Allen's going to score 34 himself. Maybe not himself, because he got some other guys on the field as well.
He's going to have some help. He has to throw
I
to
think,
somebody.
yeah. So I do think it's going to be more of like in your face, a lot of scoring, back and forth, and what happened to the defense in this game.
I'm sorry, I heard a lot of scoring, a lot of back and forth. Are we back to the orgy talk? Is that what's going on here?
Yep.
I'm just
12 and a half, deep and wide.
We never said we're family friendly. 425 games.
Yeah. Let's talk about going back to the orgy. Let's talk about Bears. Rawr.
Hold on. I gotta ask the question. What do the Bears have to do with an orgy?
You know what a bear is?
Oh, we're talking about that kind of bear. Okay, yes. Why don't you share with
Get your mind in the gutter as you're trying to be in the gutter.
Yeah, why don't you share for the rest of the class who might not know? But yes.
Go ahead and Google it, Urban Dictionary.
we were so close to getting Rob to explain it awkwardly.
Well, it's even better because they're going into the Bay Area. They're going into San Francisco. All those Bears. They're just going to get eaten up alive.
Oh my God! Stop.
The Niners are 4-point favorites at home, and the over/under in this game is at 44 even. This game is just.
Is Purdy playing?
It is trash. Don't just stay away. Stay away. He
is playing.
Is Brock Purdy playing?
I believe so.
If he's playing,
I'm taking the Niners in this game in a trash-tastic game. Take the Niners to cover this.
Yeah.
When I look it up here, all I see on Brock Purdy is to talk about how he might have been screwing himself out of a potential big contract the way he's playing this year. He is. Let's see here. I'm just checking the injury report. He's not even on the injury report at all. So,
all right, so he plays. I'm worried about that. I'm not sure about that 44 points.
I'm going under on those points, but I'm taking Niners to win. Niners to cover. Brock Purdy's he's listed as healthy to play.
Yep. Yeah. Same.
I'm going to be the different guy this time. I'm going
He's
for
going to be a bear.
The Bears.
The Bears.
There's no way you go Bears.
I'm saying the Bears. I'm saying the Bears. I'm going for it because I feel like the 49ers are that team that's just on the verge of falling off the NFL cliff, so to speak, there. And they have had every injury known to man. Trent Williams obviously is still out. Seems like, Christian McCaffrey is, obviously having a rough year between all the injuries he's had. And, it's not quite the same player right now because of that. I just something tells me, because this whole Chicago locker room was so anti, Eberflus, it's not even freaking funny. And I just feel like this is going to solidify that locker room. They're going to band together, and they're going to do something. Now, could I be wrong? Of course. To be very frank with you guys, I wouldn't put a single penny on this game. This is a do not pass go right to El Paso, Texas here on this one here. Like, this is not one I would have any interest in putting money on. But something tells me that the slide is going to continue for the 49ers, who, again, have to pay Brock Purdy potentially here soon. This is going to be an interesting thing this offseason because we've all talked about it forever. Is Brock Purdy any good, or is it the team around him? You know, he's got one more year left on his contract. That's it. So, should be very, very interesting to see if he can finally afford an apartment without a roommate next year. Just saying.
Well, you know what Brock Purdy's going to say to the 49ers, right? He's going to say, well, listen, Daniel Jones got paid. I want to get paid.
Well, if I was Brock Purdy, I would give the advice of not mentioning Daniel Jones whatsoever in your contract negotiations. I'm just saying that is probably not the best course of action. But yeah, I got the Bears in this one here. Like I said, Bears, and under. Let's get to what could be actually the actual game of the week here, the Chargers at the Chiefs, because that's a nice matchup there, guys. Divisional matchup, two teams that are playing well. We said it before, the Chargers are quietly one of the best teams in the NFL, really. I mean, if they were in any other division, you'd be talking about them as a potential winner of, the division. Yeah, along with the the Broncos, who also are doing very well. This has been a very top-heavy AFC this year. Like about 6 teams that are doing very good, and everybody else is doing poop, basically. That's where it's at. So, they're 8-4 on the season right now. Listen, anytime you can go 8-4 to start, that's not too shabby. That means you're on pace for about 11-win season after all the disappointments the Chargers have dealt with over the years. But you know who's guaranteed to have at least an 8-win season? The Chiefs, because they're already 11-1. I got the Chiefs to win this game, guys. But here's the thing. The Chiefs always win by just a smidge, just a little bit.
Yes, right.
Sock it to me, just a little bit. And that's where we're at here, where the Chargers got 4 points they're being given in this whole thing. So if the Chiefs win by a field goal like they traditionally do, the Chargers would cover the spread. So I'm going Chiefs, and I'm going with the Chargers to cover the spread. I'm going the over at 44 points because, quite frankly, I'm just being stupid. It's just the vibe I have. The smart bet would probably be the under, to be very frank with you guys. Something just tells me, and I tend to go with my gut, that this is going to be a higher scoring game than people think it's going to be for whatever reason. So I got Chiefs, Chargers over.
Yeah, I like the Chargers actually in this game. The problem is the spread. If the spread was 2.5, I'd definitely go Chargers. But with that 4 points, I'm not really going that 4 points because, like I said, I see this being a field goal game. I'm definitely going to go over in the 43. I think it's going to be the game of the week when it's all said and done. And I'm actually.
Oh, you made another typo. It's 43. I put 44. I really need to do these spreadsheets, but I'm more awake and not coming off of work, apparently. I said 43. Right. 43. You're right. On our spreadsheet that I made keep robbing me's picks, that's where we had it as. I put it wrong. It is 43.
Yeah. I see it being a field goal game, but I see Chargers winning with a field goal, so that would still put Kansas on the spread. So I have to go by the spread. I'm going to go Chiefs. If there was no spread, I'm going to say Chargers win that game by 3 points over 43.
What you got, Rob?
I got the Chiefs to win this game. Chiefs always find a way to win games, and like you said,
what they do,
and a very, I want to say low scoring, but lower scoring games by a field goal. So I'm taking the Chargers in the spread. I think the Chargers had the potential to win this game straight up. I'm going to take them in the spread just because it might be one of those really close games down to the wire, and I think it is because both these teams this year. They both have really good quarterbacks who can throw the ball down the field, but they don't utilize that. Instead, they utilize a heavy run game. They run the clock, and then they have both good defenses. So it's going to be molecular football back and forth with a couple play actions, so a couple big plays, and I'm going to take the under in this game because of that.
Yeah, like I said, that's a
Not a
smart
clock
pick.
run.
Point blank, even though I said over. Like I said, just the
I mean,
vibe.
it could go either way in that. It's going to be a heck of a game. All right, last game, Monday Night Football, the game that no one wants to watch Monday night, but
Oh
here
my
we
God.
go. You got the Bengals.
The flex.
Yeah, please flex this. You get the Bengals going into Dallas playing dim boys, if you will. Dim boys. And the Bengals are favored by 5.5 points going on the road. And the over-under in this game is at 49.5 points.
What?
Yeah, it's a doozy there, but it is also possible. It's also Vegas kind of tickling you, like, hey, where do you go here? Bengals have one of the best offenses in football, just not enough to compensate for one of the worst defenses in football.
Yep,
it's god awful. The Cowboys have gone downhill big time since last year. That defense that everyone want to talk about, guess what? Dan Quill is over in DC now. He's not sitting there picking up this team like you once did. You got Dak out for the year, and you got geriatric running back. So Bengals defense could have a surprising decent game. So I'm just going to take the Bengals win. I'm going to have them cover that 5.5 points. And I'm taking the over because this is also another team that doesn't let off the gas once they start putting points on the board. Poor Josh Burrow set a record this year with, I think it's 3 or 4 games. I think it's 4 games where he had 3 touchdowns, 300 yards passing, and no interceptions, and lost those games.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, I'll definitely go. It's easy money right there. It's Bengals. It's definitely going over 5.5 points for the win. Now that 49.5, I could see the Bengals running the ball a lot at the end. So I'm going to go under 49.5, but definitely over the spread with that 5.5 points. That's easy money. I would bet my whole paycheck on that.
I don't know if I go bet my whole paycheck at anything that I want to keep my house and not get my mortgage.
Yeah.
Bengals Dallas.
I never. But I'm Bengals, and definitely under because the Bengals should destroy Dallas, and the 49.5 is way too high for my taste. Now, Rob, you mentioned something, and we're going a little sidetrack here. You mentioned it's a doozy. Do you know where that comes from, by the way?
The outhouse.
That's a doozy. Doozy was the Duesenberg car back in the day. Beautiful car. You can't talk cars and not get me talking cars. You know this. Duesenberg cars were just absolutely beautiful cars. They were like, you're talking like 20, 25 years. I want to say like the 20s and 30s were like their heyday, but by the end of the 30s they were done. But they are ridiculously expensive if you can ever get your hands on one, but absolutely gorgeous cars. Anyway, as I sidetrack, bad game. Bad job on not letting teams flex. I think all prime games should be flexed if they want. I think that the Monday should be flexed. The Sunday should be flexed. The Thanksgiving stuff should be flexed. All that stuff should be flexed at that point, because to force this nation, this proud nation of ours, to watch crappy football is a crime.
Especially this late in the year.
Yes. Like, especially the Giants. I'm going to say the Giants. I'm just assuming the Giants, but it's a crappy game. But the Cowboys offense versus the Bengals defense. Oh my God, that is going to be horrendous to watch. It's going to be like the worst football you'll see all year long. Like really, really bad, guys. But yeah, that's our picks of the week, guys. We're going to go ahead and again, as always, do our recap on Monday, giving you guys all the updates on how badly I whoop Rob's butt as usual. Oh yes,
you said that, but did it happen?
Yes, I'm up by 12 points for the week. For the year, I mean. So I'm up. Take that.
Less than half a point a game a week.
Smoke it.
It's less than half a game, half a point a week. Not even a game, a point.
Did you celebrate in 2022 when the Giants beat the Titans by 1 point? I know you did. I was on the show with you. God damn it! A win is a win.
A win is a win.
Yeah.
but it's not won yet.
I need a win here, okay? I'm so used to the Giants losing for so long. I need a win, okay?
And
You
just
got
like
to
the
win
Giants, I'm going to
win
sweep
this.
it right under your feet and take that win from you.
Wow. Just mean. So mean. So mean. All righty, guys. Well, that's going to call it a night for us here tonight. Appreciate Drew coming on with the Talking Football here.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
So again, the Facebook group that he runs is the New York Giants Society. Again, we have the link in the comment on the videos itself, guys. So if you haven't already joined, it's on the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, because unfortunately LinkedIn will not let me put comments directly to LinkedIn. So if you're on my LinkedIn page, you got to go over to there to those things. Let's do some comments real quick here before we just head out there. I almost forgot the comments. Rocky Fresh says, I'm praying we get this draft right now. We get this draft right, man. This could be make or break for us for the next 5 years. Yeah. I mean, anytime we're picking a quarterback, that's that important. That's what it boils down to. Virgil says, hey, greetings from Manchester, England, brothers. Then he also says, I am not a gay man, but Rob is fire. And gives a little heart. Oh, Rob, you have an admirer. And then Demon Time says, we need to trade Tibbs next year. What do y'all think? I'm not trading Tibbs whatsoever. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
We got Burns, we got Tibbs, and we're probably going to potentially lose Ojulari. We'll see. I'm still hoping we keep Ojulari. We have nothing at the edge position of those two. We do.
I'm not going to want to pay him what somebody else will pay him.
I don't think anybody's going to pay him because of the injuries. Him getting injured actually helps us, I think. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
You know,
I whatever anybody offers him, I just don't see the Giants matching.
If you're telling me somebody offers him, let's say a 2-year, $10 million contract, you're not doing it?
The way Shane works? No. You're like, I'll just draft him.
I'm running under the assumption that Joe Shane won't be there. If we go 2-15, they're going to clean house, guys. There's no way you bring back the coaching and front office at a 2-15 team in their third year.
I don't.
To come back with a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's get this fancy new tool and run it over with shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just see.
Especially when Merritt talked about how they screwed Daniel Jones over by giving him new coaching staffs, new offensive schemes. Like, he's going to want to start fresh.
No, absolutely. But they brought in Dable so he can get his quarterback. It just hasn't happened yet. So I can't see them getting rid of him the year they go to get the quarterback.
The second they gave Daniel Jones that contract, he was their quarterback. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I get it, but.
And I'm not saying that I'm trying to say it was the right move at the time, but they still did the move.
If they would have drafted a quarterback in this past draft, would have been talking a different ballgame.
If they just signed somebody to compete with DJ, signed a Jameis Winston, signed to get Gardner Minshew, wouldn't have this weird idea that somehow Tyrod Taylor was going to want to come back. When everybody who knew anything going on with the Giants knew that Tyrod Taylor wanted absolutely nothing to do with the New York Giants.
Absolutely.
Like, he would have taken less money to go anywhere else.
Yeah, it should have been Russell Wilson. And
they brought him in. He was in the building. They let him leave.
No, that's what I'm saying. He should have been signed. Should have been signed right there and then. And
gotta go.
All this crap, old Daniel Jones is the starter. Well, he was coming off an ACL injury. So the talks with Russell Wilson should have been straight up. Like, listen, you have a chance to start. You guys compete, and we'll figure it out from there. But instead, they want to go off the high horse and say, Daniel Jones is the starter and you the backup. But
they wanted to prove they were right about DJ. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
That's what 100% it boils down to. It's the attitude these guys have, and that's my biggest problem I have with them. So, all righty. Well, that's going to call it a night there for us guys. Again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and, of course, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. And, of course, as always, we are live. I say not live, I should say. But we are available the next morning on all the audio podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, all the big ones there, guys. So if you like listening to audio, or if you like listening to watching video, make sure you're on all of them with us, because you get all the options you want at that point. We're like the Burger King of Giants podcast here. You can have it your way, okay? Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. That's what we're saying here, people. So again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button. If you're on Apple Podcasts as well, feel free to leave a review as well, because you have that option there as well. That helps us out huge as well. And then, of course, as always, guys, on game day, we have our live play-by-play some weeks, so we can do that, which this is a week I will be on there for that. Rob has plans. Unfortunately, he can't make that part there. He's got a girlfriend that actually likes football, and like my wife, so he's gonna be watching with her. But I will be on, like I said, live play-by-play at that point there. And Rob and I will do the post-game show there together as well. So again, guys, we'll be on live for that as well. So if you haven't, again, hit that subscribe. That's how you know when we're live. Hit that subscribe. And as always, Giant fans,
go J-Man!
Hold on.
Oh, I got so excited. I
know you
touchdown.
did. I forgot to make sure, because Drew might not watch all the way to the end of the episodes. Keep in mind. Some people go, oh, they're shining off. Boop, they're gone. I can see the numbers right now on our views. It's gone down. So if you haven't been aware, Drew, what we do at the very end, it is always, we end it with the Go G-Men, even though we know the G-Men suck. We're hoping for better days.
It's always Go G-Men,
exactly.
no matter what. Yes. No matter what.
All right, now that he knows what we're doing. All righty, guys. As always, Giant fans, go G-Men! 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 G-Men and the masters of the universe.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.